They're ghost towns that live underneath Lake Martin. In 1926, one of the most successful black communities in the country was flooded by Alabama Power in order to create Lake Martin. And now, the town of Benson, or Kalijah, is just an urban legend. John Benson was born into slavery and would go on to single-handedly create the town of Kalijah. Not much is known about his family at the time except for his sister, who happened to be sold to another plantation in Florida. His owner, James Benson, eventually passed away and he was sold off to another plantation in Talladega, Alabama. After the Civil War ended, he was freed and given a mule. And with that mule, he would go on to search the entire state of Florida until he rescued his sister. They came back to the Benson plantation where he lived. From here, he went to the Shelby County coal mines to work in order to save up enough money to buy land on his old property. He eventually saved up around $100, which gave him the ability to go back to the land that he used to work and buy some property. By 1890, he had over 160 acres of this land. Because slavery had ended, white farmers didn't have the manpower to work their fields. So John Benson made it a mission to go and buy all of their land and then employ black and white workers to work it. By 1898, he would own over 3,000 acres of land. A community was formed and this town would be known as Kalijah or Benson. And it was on this land where they produced corn, cotton, sugar, and wood. And the amount of families that were living in this community were increasing by the dozens. John Benson eventually became the town bank, where he was able to lend money and open mortgages. And he did this for both black and white workers and families. His children were also able to go and get their college educations. His son, William Benson, who was born in 1873, would go on to graduate from Howard University and then follow in his dad's footsteps in building the community. And in 1898, he went on to build the Kalijah Academic and Industrial Institute, with a board of trustees that included Booker T. Washington and Oscar Villard. By 1913, the school had over 300 students and had access to a library, a band, a YMCA, and a YWCA. The students here were not only taught STEM classes, but also trades that were important to the social climate and culture at the time. And in 1900, William Benson went on to create something else important for the community. He founded the Dixie Industrial Company and went on to open up the first black-owned railroad in the entire country. This railroad, started in 1914, opened the door for Kalijah to have international customers. William Benson unfortunately passed away in 1915. John Benson actually passed away in 1925. In 1923, Alabama Power started their Martin Dam project. And in 1926, Kalijah and other communities fell below the waters. This also included Susanna, another thriving black town, one that had a gold mine, a school, thriving industries, and a church. Indigenous communities were also lost here as well. Unless you took a dive into the waters, you would never know that a thriving black town existed here, let alone one of the most successful in the entire country at the time. And there is no true historical marker of where this town once was. We can only truly imagine what Kalijah would have become if it was given a chance to survive. But now, it lives as a ghost town underneath the waters of Lake Martin.